Today, let's talk about growing up in a mess and how to build a better life afterward.
First, I need to tell you one thing. You are not alone.
The majority of us had some difficult time growing up, and there is a reason for it that I will tell you in a second.
But the most important thing here is for you to know that it is changeable, and your life is not doomed. Actually, quite the opposite.
The truth is, we don't understand much as kids, but we feel a lot, so we end up stuck with our emotional interpretations of life, which often are not accurate. The other important thing to consider is the people around us. The adults and others in general are humans like us, and they were doing their best like us, and probably they were feeling under pressure like us, and they probably did the best they could. I am saying that because it can be helpful to make peace with this situation. Now, let's go a little deeper into what I said before about the reason life was difficult growing up. It had the purpose of building you up, and you can add a spiritual reason too, which is to remind you of what you came to do in this life. Most of our traumas and weak spots are created in our childhood, and then we spend our adult lives trying to heal and overcome them. The problems happen when we are young, so we can know what we came to fix in this life, because if you believe in reincarnation, you know that our memories are wiped before we are born. If you don't believe, don't worry. Just stick with the concept that your younger days and adult days are connected. You know when you go to a movie and the beginning is really intriguing and then things explain themselves?
Life is like that too.
What we lived in our past doesn't need to define us, but it is very difficult to break this cycle. However, it is possible. Let's say, for example, you grew up in a home where no one used to clean. It was empty, no one was there, it was always dirty, and the bills were not paid on time. Once you grow up, you can have a house and a life that is quite the opposite. Or you can repeat the cycle. Let's suppose that you choose the opposite. Maybe you will start to discriminate against other people who delay their bills. Or you might develop OCD or control issues, which, deep down, can be related to insecurity. Now let's say you are repeating the cycle, but you hate being in a home like this. You spend hours on social media looking at amazing clean homes and feeling even more hurt because it seems to be impossible for you. In this case, you will also feel insecure. The truth is, you can have your house clean or not, but what must decide that is how happy you are in both scenarios. The dirtiness or how neat the home is, the delayed bills, or the huge savings account with fear of spending the money and not having enough to pay the bills, are just issues if they make you feel bad or less than. We grew up listening to everyone around us complaining about stuff, so it is normal for us to complain too. We just think that everything is wrong, no matter how close it is to your idea of perfection. The only way out of this cycle is for you to decide what makes you happy and embrace it. Attention here, happy is not the same as comfortable.
Happy is your dream life. It's what you would like to have, but think you may not be able to.
Once you have it determined, make a resolution to not repeat your old habits. If you used to clean the house twice a day, maybe stop. If you never cleaned it, start now. The important thing is that you break the cycle and stop being used to living like this.
Things were complicated in your early years, so you can have them unfold now.
Think of it like this. Life is a huge puzzle box. Before the puzzle is cut into small pieces, it was once a big picture. Someone cut it, put it in a box, and mixed it so that someone later could open the box and put it together. It will have the cutting edges visible, but it will be a big picture again if you put all the pieces together.
Making the connection, I mean. The big picture before the cut is you when you were born.
The cut pieces are you growing up. The box mixed is you stuck in the same life. And the assembly of the pieces is you healing and getting back to your original form, with beautiful scars to tell your story. Have you ever seen those people who assemble 1,000-piece puzzles? How proud they are. Some even put them in a frame. It's because it's hard, but it's also magnificent. Another really good thing about having experiences while we live this life is that your journey can be an inspiration for another person. You can use your pain to help others heal. Sometimes we find a friend with issues that we used to have, and we can provide them a word that can change their lives. Sometimes being the kid who liked trouble could make you a good risk analyst later in life. I could give you hundreds of examples here. The thing is, everything was necessary to make you, you. So be proud of your story, and if you want to do something better, great. This is the reason for life, and if you are feeling the urge to change, this is your time. Spoiler alert, it will get better from this point on. See you tomorrow.